to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
Oh my god, awesome. Oh, damn it. Guns. Oh wait, no. No, this is all for the same thing. Okay, so I could use either of those, okay. A cranial injury from the attack outside Good Springs.
Yes, very good. I should have mentats ingest you instead of the other way around.
In Soviet Russia.
Mentats?
Sorry, couldn't,
In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the autodoc in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem, and the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
I see, I see. So you sent your threats on a loop to keep them occupied.
Yes, I certainly wouldn't loop it on purpose. I am far too sophisticated to make such a childish error.
Okay. Intelligence 7. Thank you, the Mobius suit. Client said they had the idea to get the 3 technologies after your broadcast. Coincidence?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck.
Yeah.
So watch it, potty mouth.
This guy's badass, nice.
My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
But the think tank downloaded the schematics, not the items. They can rebuild them.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
Wow. Way to go, Mobius. You should give more of... Let's see... Was there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcast?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
And finally, what is the purpose of the technologies?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things.
Wizard of Oz.
They had them all the time in the story.
Wizard of Oz.
Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And
Wizard
it
of
won't
Oz.
stop the think tank either.
They did murder them, so... Oh well. Time for me to go. Goodbye.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat, then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
Yay! We didn't have to kill him. Mobius is kind of cool, actually. I like him better than Klein. Oh, whoa. We have to get our brain back now, though. So... we'll just wait for that. There we go. Hey, Brain. What's going on? Brain, talk to me.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Oh, I like my Brain. He has a British accent. Wow, nice. Are you my Brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
Okay, it's not a British accent, but it's pretty posh. It's pretty posh. Why are you a dick? No, he's a Brain, man. There's no need to be sarcastic. Meeting your own Brain is a slightly odd event.
Yes, well, believe me, the opposite is equally true. Good Lord, have you bathed at all since they pulled me out of you?
No, actually. I haven't even slept, either. The courier is 2 mlg for showering and bathing. Or bathing and sleeping. Yes, because running around a crater full of bizarre science experiments, hygiene is top priority.
Well, I see sarcasm hasn't eluded you. Fine, perhaps now isn't the best time, but it's the principle of the thing.
I am not gonna call him a dick. Let's see. Never mind, I wanted to be talking about something else.
Of course you do. How scintillating.
How the hell did Mobius get a hold of my brain?
After the think tank extracted me from your skull, they fell to bickering amongst themselves. I'm sad to say we were quite forgotten about. Dr. Mobius saw an opportunity to gain some leverage and had me spirited away to his dome.
How did he manage that?
I don't know. I'm afraid the trauma of our separation rendered me quite insensate. I didn't come around until I was safely ensconced in this tank.
Oh, that's a nice word.
I'm quite sure whatever he did was highly scientific, though.
Ensconced. Nice. Well, that answers that. On to something else.
Well, as long as your curiosity is satisfied.
Damn it. I guess I have to go with that. Why you, I guess I... Listen, you're my Brain, so you better be more respectful.
Oh, had I? What exactly will you do if I don't? Not put me back in that cranial dungeon you call your head? Heavens forbid.
Oh, they spelled dungeon wrong. Holy cow. You guys saw that. It was video proof. They spelled dungeon wrong. Once you're back in my head, I'll watch television. Lots. And lots of television. These all seem like bad. Why are you such a dick?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
Righteous indignation. Good job, Brain. You tell the courier. Oh, come on. That stuff's fun.
Fun? Fun? Is tetanus fun? Is rickets? What about sepsis, huh? Enjoy that, do we? The things you do with our body are suicidally dangerous, and if you could silence your glandular impulses, you would hear me screaming at you!
Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get back into my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
Nice. But what about the good things? What about a cool breeze on your cheek? The smell of food? Love?
Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
Speech 75. Isn't it true that you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
So we're in an impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think the way you think.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
Do I want my brain? I don't know. Yeah, actually, yeah, I do. I think we have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
So what do you say, Brain? Join me for some more wild adventures?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
They don't have a choice about this, but, let's see. Why? They promised to put us back there once I did what they wanted.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the home Mojave will be their playground.
Oh no!
And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
Speech 75, you're a part of me. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
We kicked their ass. Yeah, we kicked their ass.
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Excellent. Added your brain. Nice. Let's see what we can do. Let's put some more into medicine. And guns, energy weapons. I don't know. What else? I have 3 more points. Guns we go! Okay. Another perk! Hooray! This is awesome. I love the new perks. Can I do any living anatomy? Obviously, to see the health and damage threshold of any targets. Meh. That seems more like something you use to check out the game mechanics or something. Scrounger, nope. Sneering and that was from the other DLC. Let's see if we can get any the newer perks from this DLC. Oh yeah, the implants, yes. More implants. More implants. Do I have my brain now? Okay. See you later, Mobius. I am gonna go destroy the other people. I guess, maybe. Let's see if we can do a non-violent solution to this one as well. Perhaps. Oh god, that was not smart. But this place is really dark. Wow, holy cow. Holy cow, indeed. Did we even go up there? I don't think we did. Yep, we didn't. Get out of here, Mobius glove. Nope. 4. There we go. Loot! What is in here? Power regulation terminal. Metal boxes. Toolbox? Nope. Plunger. That's gotta be the crappiest loot ever in the history of things. Ooh. Ooh, a Sunset Sarissa pill machine. I thank you. Duffel bag. Or glue, whatever. I'll take it, not for the sake of nothing. That was a crappy footlocker. That's a crappy desk. Another crappy footlocker. Hey, a wrench. That's worth it. Okay, guess it wasn't a lot of good stuff. Alright. We're leaving. We are... Ooh, lockers. Why didn't I see these? A locked locker, too. Interesting. Right away. Whatever. Alright, we're leaving. I wonder if the Robo-Scorpions are still hostile to us. Now that we've made peace, I suppose. Well, they're gone, so that's a good sign, I guess. Yeah, look at our special stats still. That's awesome. Look at that. Look at that indeed. But we're gonna go back to whatchamacallit. Oops. The sink. And have the good doctor, the good auto doctor, fix us up and do the other things. Put our brain back, I suppose. Let's see. Do I want my heart and spine back? That is the question. That is. I don't know. We'll have to compare. I do want my brain back, though. That is a for sure. Because it's weird living without a brain. But I think the new heart is better, and I forget about the spine, though. So we'll have to check on the benefits of each, I suppose. But I guess Mobius wasn't the real villain after all. What a plot twist! What a plot twist indeed. Is this where everything is? Yep, that's the spine, and that's the heart. Now, just to check. Whoops, not here. Spineless strength gives you +1 and that. Okay. Wait. No, I think those are in perks. So heartless gives you... You cannot be poisoned and filters in your heart regulate. Blah, 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 blah. Robots. I wonder if he'll tell you when you go to the thingy. Autodoc. Implant.
You require some additional services?
Engage your services.
And rightly so, I should think.
Blah. Let's see, basic physical exam first, because I need to get healed up and everything. Broken limbs are bad. Now completely healthy.
You require some additional...
Alright, swap body parts.